Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're noticing my crazy glasses, I have totally destroyed my regular glasses. So these are stand-ins and it is a sunny day here in Shillington, Pennsylvania. That's where we are right now. We are at the Goodwill. I've just pulled into the parking lot. It's probably about 9:30 and we're gonna go inside. We're gonna do some thrifting and see what we can find to flip for a profit. Hit the like and subscribe button. Let's go thrifting together. Okay, so hopefully today is not too crowded and we can get up and down the aisles without catching too many people on film or bumping into people. Right away, my eye spots this statue. Now looking at the bottom, it just seems like, a molded cast of some sort. No marking, so I imagine the sticker has fallen off. I do put this in my cart for a little while because the feel of it was different. It was heavy and the material it was made from, which was probably a casted resin, just felt really good in the hand. So I wanted to think about that and look at that some more. So as you can see, we're on the white aisle, single mug, and truthfully to the right, there was some Aztec mugs that I missed. So when I go back to Shillington, that's where we are, I will take a look at those if they're still there. But look at this gorgeous lamp, $9.99. Oh, I loved this. Now maybe I should have bought this for my house and found a place for it, but for now I'm leaving that behind because I'm really trying to pick up smaller items at this point. Managing YouTube and eBay full time is always a juggling act, so I do leave bigger items behind. But I'm really happy to report that a woman right after I saw it picked it up and she and I had a great conversation about how pretty it was, and I was really glad it didn't go to the landfill. Look how good this mug is. This is really good. I love this print, but when I go to put it in the cart, I do notice that somebody has kept pens in it and a few of them have leaked. That would be quite hard to get out, but I figured I would keep it in my cart in case I found multiples of it. This figurine was interesting. The bottom shows that it's fairly contemporary, not an older piece, but I thought it was well done and her face was really sweet, probably an at-home project to mimic a figurine that was, from long ago. I thought this little baby statue was well done. So I'm just looking at it for curiosity's sake. I look at a lot of items just to see what they are, and that's the case with this next jug. At first I thought this was wood. If this was wood, I would have taken it. And I thought it was kind of cute, kind of a primitive country jug. And maybe I should have picked that one up. See, so even after 9, almost going into my 10th year of doing this, I still question a lot of items. Okay, decorative plates. I really don't buy them, but boy, is this one pretty. Now these are the Limoges, France sort. So again, I should have run a comp. If you're in Shillington, you guys can run a comp if you want it. Okay, this is mechware, I think this is called, kind of like a melamine. If there would have been more pieces in that set, I would have looked that up. Melamine and Mellamac are plastic plates and dishes I do pick up. Here's a bag of those decorative shoes that people collect. I have a tendency to pick up the ones that are a little bit larger and very heavily encrusted with jewels. The plainer ones don't do well for me. And further on in this trip, I found a lot more of these and nobody wanted them. Nobody was buying them. So somebody's shoe collection is unfortunately seems to be unwanted. Sunglasses. Here's one with a peace sign. I thought that was kind of cool. Like I've mentioned, I buy a lot of eyewear, sunglasses and prescription glasses for resale. Now not every pair sells right away, but some of the bigger names like Oakley or Coach I do well with. Here's a false graph pattern. 99.9% of the time, I don't pick up false graph. One of the things that I really like about Shillington, Pennsylvania Goodwill is that they clear the shelves and put out new inventory very often. Here I'm just looking at some Johnson Brother plates. Generally, I don't pick them up. I have sold a few pieces, but it's usually the serviceware like a gravy boat, sugar and creamer, a casserole dish, something like that. I did own a set personally. I think it was called Britain Castles in Pink, and I gave those pieces. I had quite a big collection, probably about 120. I gave it to Lisa when she got married. Oh, that's got to be 6 or 7 years ago. These were pretty. They reminded me of the lamps that are like that. I was trying to read it upside down. And again, if it would have been a lamp, I would have comped it, but 2 plates, I say no. Okay, this duck looked really good, but unfortunately his little bill was chipped. I really liked the way he was painted. And I think this is a common item to find. I think this is made in Japan, probably, but unmarked. I wasn't sure if this little wood carving was a cat or an owl. It kind of looked like a mix between the two, but it was an owl. Not well done enough. And mid-century modern, probably Sirocco, I'm guessing, clocks. Well, it's really a clock and 2 plaques, so I leave those behind. These are the blue carts that are rolled out with new inventory, and you're only allowed to look in them. You're not allowed to touch. It's amazing how many different sets of rules there are at Goodwill. Okay, I thought this was interesting. This is Rhodes. It says it's made in Rhodes. So Rhodes is Greece, right? Pretty sure. And I'm not sure what this shape would be used for. I guess it could be a vase or maybe, I don't know, a letter holder, a napkin holder. I'm probably being ridiculous about this and it's very obvious. But of course I put it in my cart. It was in good condition and I kind of liked it. So you guys know me, a lot of times I'm picking up what I like. Now, I do run a serious eBay business, so I do have to pick up items. Oh, she's starry-eyed. I do have to pick up items that will make money, so I can't just go around picking up everything I like. But I use my judgment in picking up items that I've sold before or that I think will sell. This I had no intention of picking up, but I did want to see what that was made out of, and it was plastic. A little Pier 1 dish. I have sold quite a bit of Pier 1 and I believe they're fully out of business, but people still want some of the items that were sold there. This might be a Renoir, and I just wanted to zoom in on the frame separating. That's quite common. If it's a very valuable piece, I will pick it up anyway. There I'm feeling it to see the texture, but that was computer done, just a print you would buy in a home store. This item is catching my attention. I love when something's in the box that it came in. And it is a decorative egg to be hung on the tree, quite heavy, made in China. I really didn't think it had anything special about it. But I do always like to look at eggs like that. A lot of times they're enamel. I like the porcelain ones that have scenes on them. Those are really pretty. A raspberry dish. I don't know that I've ever seen a raspberry dish. Strawberries, other berries, blueberries. That one was flash painted and the paint was chipping off, which is very common. Metal serving trays are kind of a conundrum for me. I mean, unless I really know that it's something that sells through quickly for me, I have a tendency not to pick up too many of them. Now, I do like mirrored trays. Wood trays, absolute yes. Oh, I think I've picked up this bowl before. Maybe I should get a second. I'm not even sure where I got the first one. But trays, getting back to trays. Wood, I like the porcelain and some of the metal. I might even have gotten a metal in this shopping trip, and I will show you that. I liked the colorway. I don't know how many people would want to buy that though, so I leave that one behind. And we are on the red aisle. And I'm spotting little lobster claws, salt and pepper. How fun are these? I can see how people fell into collecting salt and pepper shakers on a big scale. They're just so fun to find. But Goodwill prices them at $1.99 each, which I guess if they got separated, they would want them to have a price, so they have to do that. $4 for the pair. I can't imagine those would bring more than $7 or $8. So Shillington is a store that I really haven't come to in the past. I've probably been coming to Shillington about a year on and off. Roger has been coming to this store every single day since it opened, I think. I think the man is always in this store. So quite a few people know him, and he just pops in and out all the time. I thought these wood boxes were good. I am looking for something to put my flatware inventory in, but I realized this really wouldn't help me any. I still want like a tool chest, so I'm on the hunt for that. Hopefully quite a large one, because I have quite a bit of flatware in my inventory, and I do sell quite a bit of flatware. It's hard to keep it organized. It's very heavy. Here we are on the blue aisle. This teapot and sugar bowl, even though it does have some age to it, I didn't really care for the design of it. I don't know that many people would want it. I think this was the Sterling China Company. So again, it's, definitely a reproduction made to look like something older. Here is a linden clock. Genuine porcelain china, Japan. When things have to say that they're genuine or that they're special in some way, to me that kind of cheapens the brand or shows you that the brand is cheapened. I don't think any high-end pieces say genuine on it, or, spectacular, or some kind of positive word. Jamie made this art piece. Good job, Jamie. I kind of liked this weighted bottom angel. How do you fly if your bottom is weighted? And she had this spool dangly legs. I love a good dangly leg shelf sitter. Look at those swinging legs. Just makes you feel happy. But I'm leaving her for somebody else to find joy with. Don't even know what that piece was. Okay, a special shout out to all the people that I'm meeting in Goodwill these days. Shillington, I run into now probably 3 or 4 friends, and one new friend even brought me a piece and gave it to me. So I am just really appreciative for you guys, all of the encouragement in this community, all of the show of love and support for me. Thank you guys. Really means a lot to me, and I love running into you. So if you ever see me in the thrift store, you might not recognize me because a lot of times I don't have on false eyelashes or tassel earrings, but I am always thrilled to meet everybody. So be sure to come up and say hi. You're never bothering me. I love meeting everybody in the community. Okay, I thought this was so kitschy and cool. Kind of like a cedar wood phone minder, pencil, and pad holder, $1.99. Very fun for a cabin or for a farmhouse. Those were the days. And magically we are back on the blue aisle. As I always say, I go up and down every aisle like 10 times, especially in this store, because the inventory comes out in the small blue carts, so you're not allowed to touch anything until they put it on the shelf, so you really have to go up and down the aisles a lot. I think these cups are little sake cups. I wasn't sure about that, but I would think that's what they are. They were tiny, and they did not match the saucers that were next to them. Okay, some Oriental Vosses. Very pretty. And truthfully, I thought about these for a while, but I don't know where they were sold. I wasn't sure if they were sold, in a cheaper or lower end store, I should say. If I was going to buy them, I would buy the 2 ginger jars so that it was a matching pair and I would sell them together. I would probably leave the other 2 behind because I think a pair is stronger than a single, because people with decorating with this motif in their mind, it gives them more of a sense of, okay, there's going to be a pair of them and it's just easier to decorate with a pair. whether it be on a mantle or that's all my thinking. That's what's in my brain. I don't know if any of that is true. I thought this was a coffee mug first, and the cord came flying at me. So I'm pretty sure that's a wax melt warmer. Is that what that's called? So as you can see, this is a Terracotta Planter. Again, an Oriental design. It's amazing how many decorative plates are in the thrift store. Having decorative plates on your wall must have been in every home because it's just astounding how many decorative plates are out there. There's the tap test. It was plastic. So as I've shared with you guys, I'm really trying to force myself to go up and down the clear glass aisle and see if anything catches my attention. I think this was a home craft. That's not bad. This is the hardest thing for me to discipline myself to do. Now, I did like this safety pin candlestick holder. I was kind of hoping for a second one. I recently sold a Christmas tree made out of plastic beads and safety pins. I was pretty sure that this was contemporary. There's the pontil mark showing that it's hand blown. I really liked the shape of this, but I didn't know who it was attributed to. So with glass, I really have to know what it is to, most times, clear glass, I should say, to sell it or want to sell it. Colored glass, that's beautiful. I will pick up, if I feel that it's vintage, I will pick that up without knowing who the maker is. These glasses are interesting to me. They're more narrow near the mouth opening than they are towards the bottom. I guess a lot of glasses are like that, but when they're tall like that, I always think of champagne. I do see quite a few sellers in the store looking through the clear glass, and there is absolutely value to be made, or money to be made, I should say, on the clear glass, but I have not learned it so well yet. On to the green aisle, so much more fun. I thought this dishware, these teacups and saucers were interesting, so I did want to take a look. This one has a little chip. Just looks like something that was sold in a department store. No marking. And my eye is spotting plastic fruit. I have sold thousands of dollars of plastic fruit, but $6.99 is a hard one to swallow. If this was $1.99, those would have went in my cart and stayed in my cart. These were quite good. See how realistic they look? They have a good stem. The coloring on them is good. They're in good shape. They're made out of solid plastic, not styrofoam. Here I'm fixing my bag so you guys don't yell at me. And I really wanted to buy these pairs. I think I could have flipped those for probably $19 to $22, but at a $7 buy-in price, I do leave them behind. This color is stunning, just stunning. Ballerina Mist, Union Made. Oh, so pretty. It's a very like Tiffany blue with a silver rim. Boy, I liked these. To me, it looks like Taylorton or another maker like that. And I spot a few more pieces, which I'm going to put together with these pieces in case somebody does want them. I love that color. I had never seen these mugs before, and it was interesting the way they grouped them together. That was probably like Falsgraf or Sanyo, something like that. Okay, so now we see the chip and dip or the aperitif or whatever these are called, bowl and separate little dishes. Sometimes those are on a carousel. I was really happy to see those together because weeks ago it was just the center dish. I guess Goodwill found the individuals and put them together, or somebody put them together, so I was really happy to see that. Not many Goodwills have the purple aisle. And it's just so much fun to look at. Again, I really like bright colors. I don't know that I buy a lot of purple. And yes, it's true. I did not buy it. But I figured I'd film it for you guys so you could all say you should have bought the lavender picture. I thought this frosted vase was nice, but definitely contemporary. Here was a boot planter, and yes, I have sold these too. I think I've sold everything by now. I didn't really like the colorway on that, quite heavy to ship, and that's why I left it behind. Now I'm noticing all of these boxes are those shoes that were in the bag. By the end of my shopping trip, I feel like I've saw hundreds of little decorative shoes, and I didn't buy any of them. I never realized that there were that many purple items out there. When I go shopping in a home store or department store, I don't know that there are that many purple things, so it's just amazing to me that Goodwill has a full aisle of it. I guess every color sooner or later makes it into home decor. This piece was interesting. It was signed. And again, I don't know that I would want a single piece like that. I do buy mostly single pieces in the pottery genre or in the pottery group. Across from purple is the orange. Again, very fun to look at. I don't know that I find a lot in the orange aisle, but if they group copper in, I guess I would say yes to that. This is just put out by a bakery, so I don't imagine that's solid copper. That's pretty much what I look for, the older copper. Vintage solid copper usually has patina on it, some kind of green verdigris or something like that. Now, copper that is copper over nickel or copper over some kind of metal will also have that green patina. I liked the shape of this, but I didn't like the way the patina was showing, almost like a rust color underneath it. If those spots were a greenish color, I would have taken that little pedestal bowl. A single votive or maybe a drinking glass. I liked that watermelon hobnail look. Watermelon meaning the color. Very pretty. Okay, this piece of pottery is very weird. Looked like a belly button on top of a bent vase. Oh dear. I don't know if that was meant to be like that or it just leaned over in the kiln. I really liked this bowl. It has like a pewter base, very pretty, but I have a tendency not to buy the shiny wood bowls. The bowls I buy are usually, I'm just going to call it dry looking, does not have a shiny glaze. So now these cups are calling my attention. Not sure who that is. If you know what that signature is, leave a comment down below. I think I almost got stepped on there. Reaching in to get this basket. I wasn't really sure what somebody would use that basket for. Did consider it for a while. It would be a very large box. Even items that aren't that breakable, like you wouldn't think a metal wire basket is breakable, I still have to add a lot of packing material so it doesn't get bent. So I'm thinking the box would really be oversized and somebody would not want to pay shipping for an oversized box priority. So a lot of times these days, unfortunately, that's what I'm using, you know, as a criteria of whether I pick something up or not, of how large the box is going to be if a buyer is going to want to pay shipping on top of the price. A few new items came out. This is a Funko Pop. This is Carson Wentz, which his stuff does not sell. I had a jersey that sat forever. It might still be in my store. And I go right on to these brass candle sconces. Now this one does need its screw tightened. So there's the screw there. And I just need to tighten that up. But I love finding these. Now they're not going to fly out of my store, but people really still like these. I like the design of this. And there's a sticker on the back which will make listings so much easier. I will try to put the name on the screen here so that you guys can know the brand, but I don't go by brand, I go by weight, and if it's the older brass. I really don't pick up a lot of the super shiny brass. Here you can see I have a Barbie in my cart, which turned out to be a big womp womp, so I put her back. And we are on to the black aisle. Now this little button art was probably a craft kit that somebody made. If you see the older ones like this that are really made from individual found buttons, you want to buy that. There are Christmas trees, there are framed pieces like that. I have seen a doll's dress, like the doll was, I'm going to guess she was wood or porcelain, ceramic, and buttons just glued all over her. Just stunningly beautiful. Years ago, my daughter Mellissa found one. I don't remember what it was, and I don't think she bought it. You know what? That one might have been jewelry. Might not have been buttons. Okay, while I was describing that whole button thing, I put a wood bowl back. Scanning the red shelves. Happy Valentine's Day. Come to think of it, I think Valentine's Day is tomorrow, so happy Valentine's Day, everyone. And now as I come around the corner, I see this little sweet table that they just put out. How adorable is this? Now I do realize and notice that there is quite a bit of chipping on it as I turn it around, and Goodwill wants $9.99 for it. So even though I feel that's a very fair price, you know, for just keeping it, very hard to make money on that. Facebook Marketplace is terrific, but for me to leave my house and do a meetup in a parking lot, it's got to be worth my time. Here is a gold and green tray. I told you guys I would show you another tray. $4, absolutely yes, so pretty. I've stopped picking up the black ones pretty much unless they're a true antique, but a green and gold I will always say yes to. And I'm realizing I have not shown you this little sweet pot. Just a native pot, Aztec, Southwestern, and it's signed. So I do have to do research on the signature to see if it's anything of note, but I will always pick up pieces like that. Okay, back to the table. So the table really has to be worth my time of loading it in the car. You know, first I would have to list it on Facebook Marketplace, load it in the car, do a meetup, take time out of my day. So I didn't think that I would be able to get more than $30 for this, so I leave it behind. And of course, somebody right behind me scooped it up. Very happy for them. So here we are back down the purple aisle. I think this is the same purple aisle. And I spot this beautiful little amethyst piece of glass. I really liked this. I don't know anything about it. I don't even know what this would be used for. But boy, is this pretty. So in the cart it goes. And here I'm going to show you this gorgeous blouse that a viewer came up and gave to me. I don't know if she wants her name mentioned on film. I always try to respect people's privacy, but thank you so much. If you are watching this, you know it's you. You are welcome to put your name here and say I gave it to you. That would be fine. So pretty, and she told me to use the keywords Mardi Gras. That's very fun. Here I'm just looking at a Disney mug. I guess it's an octopus. And I did not take time to look this up. When a piece seems like it's commonly made and there's nothing really spectacular about it, I don't always look up a comp. This one did have crazing or crackling inside, so I do leave it behind. As I was coming around this corner, I saw this gorgeous, ornate Hollywood Regency Rococo, I don't even know what to call this, jewel box come out. Now, I don't think this has any age, but boy, is this thing stunning. And it's in really nice, clean condition. This is a score, in my opinion. $4.99, just beautiful. Okay, so I still have the table and a few more pieces in the cart, but I do put that table back. And I also found this Nutcracker, a little piece of a label, looks like made in China. So not especially old, it's probably just a reproduction. But I wanted to show it to you guys. Look how fun this is. So even though I realize that it's not, an antique, I will always take something like this. And I found a hand beater. This is vintage. And I put that in my cart. And I think one of the things I haven't shown you is this cone puppet. Trying to do it with one hand. So again, probably not a high dollar item. Roger has grandkids, I might bring it over there to show it to them. Okay, so the table does go back, just to make that clear, and I'm considering brass hardware. Okay, so here we're just going to finish up by looking at this gorgeous tissue box. Look how beautiful this is. I was very sad to see as much damage as it had. I would have grabbed this in a minute, so beautiful. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Go out and get what's yours.